Good morning, all. Welcome. And we want to thank this month's, thank you, Ray. um, Welcome all to this morning's breakfast by the Chamber of Commerce. This is our monthly gathering. And first of all, I want to be able to thank La Katrina and Slow Roasted Coffee for their support with the food this morning. So we'll give them a hand. Give them a little plug too. If you haven't been to Taco Tuesday, it's the best deal in town in every Tuesday. So ask my husband about it. He'll give you all the details. Okay, so we this one is titled Creativity Unleashed: Spotlight on Artistic Triumphs and Inspiring Journeys. And I want to, first of all, welcome and introduce, if you will stand up, any board members. And I know that we have Ray here, Charisse here, myself here, Steve here. Good turnout of our board, Bob here. So welcome and thank you for being here this morning. Also, I don't see any council members, but I do see a future council member. Congratulations. It's official now that Bill is uncontested. So he will be going in, Bill LaFay. So keep him honorable. And then the also, I just zoned. I just lost myself. But I did want to mention that because we're going to be talking a little bit later about the birthday party of 60th anniversary for Morro Bay. The Chamber of Commerce was established in 1956, so 68 years ago, and the first meeting of the chamber was at the Chat and Chew restaurant, which is now where the Morro Bay Deli is. It was owned by, she wasn't Tyler at that point, but she definitely was in love with the arts, in love with the community, and she adopted me, and so I'll be channeling her a little bit today. But to the Chamber of Commerce has always been established to fulfill its mission by connecting business peers to one another, to local leaders, and to community champions. Today, you'll meet several of our champions, and those are champions. These champions are champions of the arts that keep our community vibrant and alive with a culture that is not necessarily unique, but having the arts, it brings the happiness to our community, and we appreciate all of you. We're going to start with Dick Newman. And Dick, if you will come on up and want to say thank you. And this is what you'll see a little bit of a pattern here. And owner of Absolution Cellars. And thank you for selecting and expanding your tasting room and gallery of your beautiful art to Morro Bay. We welcome you.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Don't have to get okay. Perfect. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. My name is Dirk. Dick is okay. I've been called far worse. I am the founder, winemaker, owner, truck driver, box packer, grape picker, and whatever else needs to be of Absolution Cellars. I'm an immigrant to the United States. I came here in 1975 at the ripe age of 7. Lived all over the US, New Jersey, Minnesota, South Carolina, North Carolina. Ended up getting a scholarship to the University of Miami and spent 27 years in South Florida. That's where I honed all my winemaking skills. I I kid. 2011, I started to come to the Central Coast because I realized I had 4 weeks of vacation every year with the job I had, and I never took that vacation. I was a full-time single father, and so I was very focused on just trying to get my kids through life. And finally decided they were old enough where I could escape a couple of times a year just to kind of breathe a little bit. And I chose the Central Coast because for me, it was like the farthest I could get away from South Florida and still be in a good climate. Um, I love the topography. I love the wine, obviously, the food, but the people. And so in my mind, I started thinking, oh, I would retire to the Central Coast one day, 20 some odd years down the line. Early 2013, light bulb went off. There was absolutely nothing keeping me in South Florida anymore. So I packed up everything and moved here, rented a place in San Luis Obispo. My kids actually were grown, but came with me. I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew I loved the wine industry, but wasn't sure. I looked at buying an existing wine bar business. I thought about working in a tasting room on the weekends, but there was no specific plan in mind. But 2014, I had a chance to make a barrel of wine with a local winemaker. I thought that would be kind of a fun experience. I had worked in a winery for one day back on one of my vacations back in 2012, I think it was. And the one thing that kind of struck me, and one of the things why I don't have a fancy PowerPoint presentation, is because in my previous life, I stared at a lot of screens. And one of the things that struck me working in the winery that one day was that I worked with my hands. And that was something that was really, really missing from my life. And so while that particular moment in 2012 didn't say, oh, you got to do this, for the rest of your life, it certainly kind of maybe set the wheels in motion. And then when that opportunity came in 2014, I really enjoyed it. The hobby started to grow pretty rapidly. 2017, I realized I had made way too much wine as a hobby. I had enough wine basically to drink for the rest of my lifetime. I had friends that would come over. They would buy a bottle that was just a blank bottle. I would handwrite what was in the bottle. They'd pay me cash, and people liked the wine, so I was inspired. But it was, still, can you ever leave the day job and take that quantum leap? Because one of the things about the wine industry is that you cannot just open up a door. You gotta make a product. A good red wine takes 2 to 3 years in barrel to make. So in 2017, I thought 2020 would be a great time to open a business. Um, Opened in February, 5 weeks before the pandemic. Great reception. Love being in Morro Bay. I chose Morro Bay because I'm kind of a person who likes to do the opposite of everyone else. In Paso, I would have been one of 150 tasting rooms. Here, I was one of two, and now I'm one of one. Um, and I love being here so much that when Chateau Margine left, we took over the space next door. We now have two tasting rooms, a classic tasting room and a rare and reserve tasting room. So you can still do two wine tastings in Morro Bay. Just maybe grab lunch in between. The two menus are completely different. We're very excited for the expansion. We've been able to provide a local person we didn't even know with a full-time job now, which is pretty awesome. And we hope to continue the growth and expansion. I make 20 some odd different wines from 11 different vineyards scattered throughout the Central Coast. Oh, I talk a lot, sorry. And we like to kind of showcase that grape from that vineyard of that vintage, because that's what makes wine special and unique than any other beverage. And I think with that, I'll open the floor to any questions. Oh, that's like asking me my favorite child. Um, I'm a huge fan of Cabernet Franc, and our Cabernet Franc just won the gold medal at the International Cabernet Franc competition. So I feel like that's certainly a worthy contender. But I like to say we make everything from A to Z, Albarino to Zinfandel, and lots of things in between. Oh, yes. So One of the things that I'm so glad I did, and I think one of the things that got us through the pandemic is I found this amazing artist online. You'll see one of her art pieces on the little cards on the table there. Um, Asia Trier, she's got over 1,500 amazing pieces of art. She doesn't create any of them for us. I go through her collection and find something to connect to each wine, some kind of story or something that kind of connects to each wine. And when you're tasting with us, we tell you that story of how the art connects with the wine. And a kind of wine art and story is what we're all about.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention your three different sections really now that you have.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I count your outside.
Well, yes. People watching on the Embarcadero is fabulous. So we in the new space and even in our old space, we oriented some of the furniture inside even out so you can enjoy the people watching. Yes. Yeah, we do a charity thing every quarter with different local charities. In fact, we're talking to one of the folks that are going to be speaking here today about doing something together later this year. And looking forward to working with Carocha for some art and sip and paint stuff at our new expanded place. We love working with the Morro Bay Butcher on some things and other locals. Love seeing Ray with his guitar every morning. He's not too loud and he sings well. So please come out and see us 7 days a week, 10 to 6 on the weekends, 12 to 6 during the week. We have a bunch of special events going on. Check out our website. For those that don't know that we are on the Embarcadero, 845. Please come down. It's not so bad on the Embarcadero. Sunday afternoons are great. One of the reasons we open 10 at the morning on the weekends too is kind of a quiet time, so locals come early before the rush. And thank you so much. And we love being in Morro Bay and love being a part of this community. And a huge thank you to the chamber, because the chamber was really active during the hardest times when we first opened our business, and certainly helped us through. So,
Great.
thank you.
Moving on, we're going to introduce, I'm going to thank you to Rhonda Crowfoot. And she is the president of the board of directors for By the Sea Productions. And our thank you is for providing live theater for Morro Bay for our residents and visitors many times.
Good morning. Thank you very much. That was very nice. My name is Rhonda Crowfoot, and I am the president of the board of By the Sea Productions. By the Sea Productions is Morro Bay's live theater. Better? By the Sea Production is Morro Bay's live theater and was founded in January 2017. Previously known as the Pewter Plow Players, we adopted our wonderfully apt name when we found our new home in Erickson Hall at St. Peter's by the Sea Episcopal Church. Many of the folks who are involved at the establishing BTSP here in Morro Bay are still with the theater. Kellyanne Poward, Anita Schwaber, and Janice Peters are still on the board, and many of the directors, actors, and backstage volunteers have continued to help BTSP stage the more than 50 productions that we've done in the last 8 years. By the Sea Productions is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have a Morro Bay business license and are members of the chamber. We make it a point to use local businesses for our operational expenses to make sure that we continue to contribute to the local economy. We donate tickets to numerous fundraisers during the year and join with St. Peter's in awarding scholarships to Morro Bay High School students every year. Our seasons present a combination of comedies, dramas, and classics. And this year, we actually world premiered It Takes Two, which was an original musical review written and staged by local artists. We are always on the lookout for new and interesting material to produce. We've staged a number of West Coast premieres, including 2022's Murder on the Orient Express, and our next performance of A Rock Sails By, which opens August 30th and runs through the 15th of September. Theater is a collaborative, creative art form. We welcome volunteers to help with directing and stage managing, set design and construction, costume design. And we like folks to come and operate our sound and lighting equipment. And acting, we love to have folks come to our auditions. Our stage reading shows don't require memorization, and the rehearsal schedule is really minimal. Community theater offers incredible opportunities for everyone to come and learn something new and have some fun. By the Sea Productions mission statement is creating community through our passion for theater and storytelling. A vital artistic presence in a community helps create a positive atmosphere for locals as well as the visitors who are so important to our economy. We at By the Sea Productions are proud to be a part of the thriving artistic community here in Morro Bay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Occasionally we have, but we could talk about it. Okay, great. Anybody else? Our next show is called A Rock Sales By. It opens on the 30th of August. It is a West Coast premiere, so it's not been done here on the West Coast before. So we hope you want to come. You'll see there's some schedules on your tables. Our full shows cost $25 a ticket, and we have Friday and Saturday evenings at 7 and Sunday afternoon at 3 for our matinee. On the 7th of September, that matinee will have half-price tickets in honor of the 60th anniversary of our wonderful city of Morro Bay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is Sarah Mason. Sarah is the president of Infinite Music, and we want to thank her particularly for providing all forms of musical training and exposure to our youth into music, all kinds of music. And also congratulations again for being the Chamber of Commerce Nonprofit of the Year this year. Welcome.
You're busy with that this morning, aren't you? Are we all ready for our sing along this morning? No, I'm just kidding. It's too early for that. Good morning. It's great to be here. I've just started wearing reading glasses, so I think I might have to put these on, but I love the title of today's theme, Creativity Unleashed, because I can think of no better way to speak to or describe how Infinite Music got its start and how embracing creativity can perhaps inspire you on your own personal journeys or business success. As a quick aside, my background is in marketing, advertising, large-scale event production. I had my own agency for many years and worked in a multitude of industries. And after 40 years, I decided it was time to shift gears and put my energies into the nonprofit I founded in 2013. So Enter Infinite Music, which in 10 years has grown to serving over 2,500 kids throughout San Luis Obispo County and northern Santa Barbara counties, and employs more than 35 local music educators and teaching artists. Did I have any previous experience running a nonprofit? No, none. It was an idea that hatched as a heartfelt, creative way to give back and filling a void I had great passion for. And Infinite Music is a 501c3 nonprofit that fills the gaps where music education is missing in local schools, elementary through high school, as well as provides one-on-one music mentorship. So simply put, we're youth music advocates because we believe music education is such a vital part of a student's holistic education. And what we found is the kids that could most benefit from an arts education are the ones denied the opportunity simply because they don't have access or support within their environments. So music is one of the many things they miss out on. And there's so much research that supports the cognitive benefits that music provides, especially when we're introduced to it at a young age. And starting a nonprofit is really no different than starting a business. I mean, both involve fresh perspectives and creative gusto as you move through changing times, pivoting with market fluctuations, dealing with the curveball of a pandemic that Dirk spoke to, and sometimes rigid bureaucracy. And like a business, but as a nonprofit, we've learned not to get overwhelmed by the competitive landscape, which in our case is the over 2,000 nonprofits in San Luis Obispo County. So, how does Infinite Music use creativity to get where we are today? Number one, they'll never let us do it this way, or that's the way we've always done it, get in your way. Early counsel from two well-respected local music educators told us it would be a hard road to navigate and work within the formalities of school districts. And yet, with the passage of Proposition 28, and by developing networking relationships with fellow youth-minded nonprofits, our good name and efforts are recognized. And today, we have served our programs are serving 6 school districts, and we brought a full-scale music curriculum to a school district that has no music program. So we have a youthful mission, and we want to stay youthful in our thinking. We need to move with the times and look for untraditional ways of doing the traditional. And yes, we are a nonprofit, but how in the heck do we build a sustainable source of funding beyond the tradition of seeking individual donations, sponsorships, and grants? If you want growth beyond, you must find a way to differentiate yourself and your product or service. Creating new revenue streams requires creative approaches. So how are we doing that? Infinite Music is dependent on grants, individual donations, and those from service organizations, program fees, fundraising events. But do you know what our most sustainable revenue stream is over the course of a year? Selling used instruments. Who knew? We've implemented an annual instrument drive as a fundraising vehicle with relatively little outlay, other than volunteer power to evaluate, post the instruments online, and ship to people all over the country. And we've built an exemplary 5-star reputation on Reverb, which is the leading online used instrument marketplace. And buyers are thrilled to know that 100% of their purchase supports a local music education nonprofit, which gives us an edge in a competitive secondhand retail market. And 3, broaden your people power. And by that, I mean, get to know people outside your business or organization and staff. A huge part of our success has been the teaching team we employ, music teachers who have private music studios, college music educators from Cuesta and Cal Poly, credentialed music teachers, retired music teachers who all are supportive in teaching our kids the joy of music. And our diverse teaching staff allows our organization to advocate for music education, to be a part of a student's holistic education. And along with our energetic volunteers and our creative board of directors, our teaching artists have become our greatest ambassadors. So I know I'm probably getting close to the 5 minutes, but I wanted to give you a snapshot of the strategies Infinite Music has implemented to unleash our creativity and build an innovative nonprofit, which is overcome the ordinary, stimulate growth, and raise the bar. And I hope those serve an example that you can draw upon for ideas that encourages creativity, diversity, and innovation for your business or organization. Happy to answer any questions.
Next on the agenda, we want to welcome to the podium Christine Ridout. And Christine is the owner of Morro Made in downtown Morro Bay, and would like to personally thank her for providing a marketplace for artisans year-round in our downtown area. So, Christine.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to speak here. This is my first time attending one of these events, and it's great to see so many faces that I also get to see when you come and visit my store. I've really enjoyed all of the presentations that have been done today and the very well prepared scripts. I'm up here winging it because I've not done this before, so I will be unleashing some creativity up here. I don't typically like to talk about myself, but just to give you a quick background, I was born and raised in the Bay Area, and my official career, so to speak, is I'm a CPA. I worked at a lot of startup companies in the Bay Area, and in the early 2000s, my husband and I realized that we did not like the rat race of the Bay Area, and we came out to Cayucas, and have just absolutely loved and flourished in the community here. Um, I did a variety of things when we first came here to Cayucas, doing some various consulting, and I joined a group called the SBDC, which is a Small Business Development Center, where I got to work with a lot of small businesses, helping them get up and running on their accounting. And I've just really loved and I've been inspired by the people that have chosen to open a business that follows their dream rather than in the Silicon Valley, where the first approach to starting a business is how are we going to sell it off and make a lot of money. Um, 2 years ago, I was out at a brand new client called Morro and had the pleasure of meeting with a woman named Ruth who had started the business, but realized very quickly that it was not something that she had a passion doing. And she wanted my assistance in figuring out how to unwind the business. And at that moment, I realized a dream inside of me was about to come true, which is to own my own business. And over the past 2 years, we've managed to create a place where over 100 local artists, including one of our artists here, Kim, are able to sell their products. We have a wide variety of products from original acrylic paintings to ceramics and jewelry, food products like local honey and chocolate. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to work with everyone. So I am thrilled that the focus today has been on unleashing creativity because I feel like the space that I've created is a spot for people that do have creativity to be able to show and sell their products. Um, I don't know, where am I at time wise? Am I good? Okay. Yes. That's a good question. So one thing I neglected to mention is that I am also a creator. I make jewelry, and it's just been something I've loved doing on the side. Though I'm very mathematically oriented, I'm also very creative as well. So I had participated in many local events like the waterfront market and so forth, and met a lot of artists through that process. So when recruiting artists, that's where I started. But then once the name got out there, I have lots of people that come. In fact, I've got a waiting list of about 60 artists. Yeah. So really at this point, it's mostly that they come to me. Gosh, that's a good question. I would say yeah, there is a really good mix of very consistent locals that when they need to get a gift, that's the first place they come. But we also get a lot of tourists, which surprised me because being a number of blocks off the Embarcadero, I didn't expect to see so many tourists. But I think what they really enjoy is that they're able to go somewhere and purchase a memento that actually was made locally rather than, a lot of the knickknacks that you'll find in some of the touristy shops. Trying to figure that out right now, to be honest with you, because I want to say yes to everyone. Some people naturally rotate out if they move out of the area because they need to be in San Luis Obispo County. And right now, I'm going through the process of figuring out, who maybe isn't selling as much, and perhaps it isn't the right space for their work. It's a challenge because to me, everything that's in there is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, next, next Carocha is the owner of Y/Carocha's Gallery and Art. And we want to particularly thank her for her interactive art sessions. And I'm sure she'll be talking about an art for phobic art people like me that are afraid of art.
Okay, I'm not really great at public speaking, so I'm reading off my phone, so bear with me. But thank you for inviting me to speak here today. My name is Carocha. I'm the owner of Carocha's Gallery and Art Studios. I've been into art since I was a child. I was born in Chile. I moved to Connecticut with my family when I was 10 years old, and I took a one-way flight to California on my own in 2010 just to see what happens. if I was going to be an actor, I don't know. I lived in Hollywood for the past 14 years, where I had a home gallery studio and a very lucrative job in sales working for a private vitamin company. And on my 40th birthday, 6 years ago, I was introduced to this beautiful Morro Bay city, and immediately triggered a desire for me to own a property. However, the opportunity was never reached. In March of last year, I came across this business rental space and figured, why not just paint here? A month into fixing the space, I thought to myself, this place is pretty big just for myself. Why not start doing classes here? But I didn't want to do a paint by picture or paint by number classes. I wanted classes to be relatable to my art and my style of painting. That's when I came up with our themed art classes, where you get to express how you feel about our themes, what they mean to you, your memories and experiences relating to them. On May 20th of last year, we had a grand opening for White/Carochas Gallery in our studios here in Morro Bay, where we have my art for viewing and for sale, themed art classes that include 2 glasses of wine for adults over the age of 21 or BYOB, and also support other artists through our Artist to Shine events. We also have art classes at Legends Bar in Morro Bay every other Thursday and one Wednesday of every month. That includes one cocktail of your choice. And we also have classes at Jerry's Greenblatt's Windermere Real Estate Office in Los Osos, Baywood, the second Tuesday of every month, included unlimited wine and BYOB. Jerry's Greenblatt over here, she likes to give away wine. We're looking to expand our surrounding cities as well, such as Cambria, SLO, and Paso Robles by the end of this year. If you guys know of any like winery places or bars. Earlier this month, after a 6-month-long process, we became an approved vendor of Heartland Homeschoolers program. So we're super excited to start working with the kids as well. 2 days ago, an opportunity to lease the space above the gallery became available. So we will be expanding and moving all themed art classes to the 2nd floor, leaving the gallery space to shine on its own, but also expand to the top as well on September 1st. That's something that I'm super excited as well. I'm a member here of the Morro Bay Chamber of Commerce and an ambassador, also a member of the SLO, which is SLO Women's Network, South Bay Women's Network. I honestly do not know where my business would be if it wasn't for these great organizations, the exposure, networking, and business partnerships that have given me and have linked me with are far beyond what I could have done on my own. I think that's 5 minutes. I don't think if you can tell with my voice that I'm super nervous about that. I don't know what I could have done without them. On your tables, you'll see 3 different flyers. One with the schedule of this month event on Legends Bar. Tonight we have one of them. We encourage you to attend to them. Also for Jerry's Greenblatt's office in Los Osos Bay as well, with the schedule on there. I met her here with the Chamber of Commerce, and also for Artist to Shine event coming up this Saturday with our special guest, Beth McGill, who I also met here at the Chamber and also with the SLO Women's Network. She'll be having 3 workshops total for the day on meditation, self-hypnosis, manifesting, and the law of attraction, and soul-centered living, and in addition to 2 dates that are coming up as well that she'll have at our gallery. So we encourage you to attend to all of these events. Also, if you have any questions, you can always contact us at the gallery. Lizzie Palm, Gayla Valdez, or myself can help you guys let you know what the schedule is. And thank you for inviting me to speak today. And thank you all for attending this beautiful morning and having this delicious breakfast as well. And I guess I can open questions with that. Okay, go ahead. It all depends. I mean, sometimes we have like a theme called the blues. We've had 80s themes, 70s themes, you know. We just recently had one at her office called Sailing Your Thoughts. And what we do is we have those themes and we have a class discussion where everybody in the class explains what it means to them, how they feel about it, what memories are triggered, and what experiences they've had with the theme. And then after we have that class discussion, I throw in a secret theme. We do the same for that, and we put those two together, and that's how everybody comes up with their art piece. Thank you. Okay, that's
Good job. You did audience, you looked at your audience as well.
okay.
Okay, next we have Ray Reardon. You're up. Ray's musician and an artisan. And I particularly want to thank him for providing so many events with music and demonstrating that your unique signature art, your cigar boxes, very, very prized, have been a benefit to so many nonprofits in our area. Thank you, Ray. Also, past director, president of the board, and currently the secretary of the board on the chamber.
I'm somewhat loud, so I try not to. So anyway, I'm too am one who like notes. Nah, that's not me. So I mean, like one of the fun things I've had though since I've moved to this community is that about the same time I moved here, I was on a plane and I saw a film about cigar box guitars, and I said, well, shoot, I can do that. Okay, and it was funny, but so this was my very first one. This is called a 3-string. So it's always it's in a chord. So you can go pretty easy to play, right? So I mean, yeah, well, I'll get it in there. So, but this took about, I don't know, maybe a week for me to figure out how to put all that together. And then I see, all the wonderful work that Infinite Music is doing, because I feel terrible because what I do is I buy a bunch of cheap instruments and I break them apart and I use parts. So my garage looks like an assembly line for cigar box guitars. So the one next to that one is number 30. That I made that one for my daughter. Then next to that one is number 88, and then the last one is mine. Okay, so that's number 111. So in this time, I've built 111 of these things. But the whole point is that I don't sell these. I give them to nonprofits, so they raffle them off. These guitars and ukuleles have generated about $22,000 in the time I've been here. So, and that's not for me. Okay, I mean it's that I see everybody else with the amount of time and effort and just all that stuff that you put in. And I just felt guilty, so I had to do something. But it is one of those things where I've been very blessed that that it's been able to take a hobby I had and a love I had and just do something for somebody else, because I'm generally a pretty selfish person, and I've realized it, and I got to do something for other people. So my theme is whatever you do, think of other people when you do it. Okay, and I've been blessed. I played outside of your place. Played outside of Dirk's place. There's probably 3 or 4 places. Well, we got the Savory Palette over there. I got Mr. Carmichael back there that has called me up, and I get to play for the 60th anniversary. I'm so excited about that, of the city. So I mean, these are all just things where you take what you love, have fun doing it, and something good happens for somebody else. So that's my theme. That's all I wanted to talk about. So that and I again, I owe everything I know and I have here to the chamber, okay? Because basically the chamber embraced me, let me, get involved in the community, and I highly, highly recommend all of you find your organization, find who you can help, get yourself involved. That's all I'll say. Any questions? Well, there's a wonderful little place on the Embarcadero called the Savory Palette. It used to be the wine cellar for those that have been around here for a while. And when I first moved into town, I didn't know how to meet people. I didn't know where to meet people. So I went down there and they had an open mic. I started attending the open mic. The owner was trying to run a bar, trying to cook, trying to do all that, and run an open mic. So I volunteered there. I hosted the open mic there for about 4 years, and then that has really grown to, it's the largest open mic in our town, and it's every Thursday from 6:30 to 9:30. Mr. Holier here is our in-house drummer. Okay, so I mean we have a percussionist, and we love people to come in and sing. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of really good musicians. I am like number 50 on that list. Okay. These guys, if you want to sing, they'll play and you could be a star for the day. Okay. So, anything else? Depends on how pissed off my wife is. So, I mean, no, actually, it's one of those things that like the one on the end, which is, I mean, that I took some time on. That was probably 2 weeks of time. Generally, it's a weekend. I can probably, like, and again, a lot of it is just, I call them Frankensteins because I mean, I pick up parts from all these places, and it's amazing how different sounds you can get with different boxes and different pickups and all those different kind of things. But she's generally a weekend. So thank you, Michael. Don? I don't know. Probably we've got something coming up for for Maritime Museum probably, and I mean, what happens usually is we just did one for the Big Lebowski, and that was great. Okay, and somebody got a really good deal on that one. So I mean, but and I think we did one for the rock radio station. So I've done a couple this year so far, but it's almost one of those ones where if I hear it, if I know there's a fundraiser, generally I'm pretty good about, yeah, I can figure out how to get one to you. So I mean, so hopefully there's one coming. They're electric. I actually have a little pickup there, but I would blow you out of the place right now. So, but everything I build usually has a pickup in it so that you can play along with people. So I mean, if they're playing a real guitar, yeah, okay. These are not Stradivariuses. Okay, so I mean, but at the same time, they're in tune, they work, and like especially, gosh, for kids, that's why I was really touched because those are the kind of things that that like a ukulele is a wonderful instrument to start people up on their musical path. So I mean, so I'll be talking to you. Okay. Anything else? Thank you all.
And maybe if we have a minute or so at the end, maybe you can strum for us. So next on our list is Kirk Carmichael. If you could make your way up here, and Kirk does the recreation department at the city of Morro Bay, does so many different things. They're so diverse in all the activities that they provide. But I particularly want to thank Kirk and his staff for the music at Tidelands Park coming up in September. And also he has been the lead on the birthday party for our city, which I'm really proud. Sorry, Jody, but Jody's also on the committee. I'm very proud that she's doing that. So welcome, Kirk.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Michael. Thanks to the chamber for having me here, Jody and Lindsay. Appreciate it. I'll start with Tunes at Tidelands. 8 years ago, when I started this job, it was a dream of a gentleman in our office to have some kind of music here, and we made an attempt at Cloisters Park. That one day in April, we got rain, and it rained it out. So we took those funds and moved them over to what we wanted to do, which was Tunes at Tidelands. So the ad will hit Stereo Bay News on the 29th this month to let you know this is our 3rd year. And let me see. That's Tunes at Tidelands, 5 to 7, Tidelands Park. Oh, so this is a collaboration between the senior center and the recreation office. So it's really just to sustain itself. It's expensive to put these productions on the stage and sound and everything like that. So, so Thursdays, each Thursday in September, 5 to 7, Tunes at Tidelands. And then we'll talk real quick about the 60th celebration of the city's incorporation, which was July 17th in 1964. Summers are busy for us, so we decided we'd give this a shot in September when things quiet down here in town. So we put a committee together. It's myself and Helica Jepson from my office, along with Jody from the chamber and Michael from Visit Morro Bay, and our mayor. So we're doing our best to kind of piece something together and have a little fun in September. So it starts off with let me back up: waves, wildlife, and wonderful memories. That's the tagline. And you too can get one of these little pins. We'll be selling these $2 a piece. So our first evening is an enhanced Tunes at Thailand. So at Tunes at Thailand, we'll have some we'll have the Visit Morro Bay bus out there. We'll have some swag, beach balls, things like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a great event if you haven't been. Inexpensive wine, and we'll have a food truck as well. Let's see. We'll also have some tie-dye t-shirts available. And I have to keep notes. Friday is our at the Art Center of Morro Bay. We have a lovely evening of Dahlias and Decades, a 1960s soiree of art, wine, and music. Thanks to Jody for that one. So at the Art Center of Morro Bay, we're going from, let me see, 4 to 9 o'clock, and it's really it's going to be artists from Morro Bay or the area back in the 60s. So it could be like views of the 60s, or the artists were actually, you know, doing their work in the 60s. So we'll have a show there along with some a Dahlia show, and that's thanks to Nancy Johnson with the Dahlia Society, and then Kathleen Heil of the Arts Center, who's working with us to provide this event. We'll have some wine and some food, and Ray's going to join us with, I'm not sure if the Savory Palette Players or not. I'm not sure who's joining us, but we'll have a little bit of music there. So stop on by and say hi. And let's see. And then Saturday is our, we've got 2 events taking place on Saturday: our Founders Day Parade, and that starts at 10 o'clock. And we're looking for nonprofits and service organizations to do a parade down Morro Bay Boulevard, end up down by the Maritime Museum. Should be a lot of fun. It'll be kind of quick, maybe half hour, 45 minutes of a parade. And then we'll have a Founders Day program at Tidelands Park that starts at 12. So from noon to 4, Tidelands Park will do Founders Day. We'll have some booths set up with service organizations or nonprofits. We'll have some city staff out there as well. Dead Air Day is going to DJ for us, a little bit of music, a little bit of fun, maybe a visit from assembly members, or the mayor will be out there talking. So just some more information and maybe some fun activities for kids and things like that. I also wanted to mention that Jody with the chamber has been working on some activities as well for the businesses, business window and storefront decorating. And then also restaurants and businesses will be offering up some specials over the weekend or the month, really however long you wanted. I thought, you know, like a Morro Rock lava cake dessert. That was my great idea. It was about as good as it gets. So that's going on. So get in touch with Jody. She's asking to have folks get back to her by Friday of this week, so she can put a map together, and then folks can go ahead and take a look at that map and head on out to those businesses that are participating. That's all I've got to say. I think I covered it. Happy to take questions. Yes, so there's this wonderful information here on the screen, but you can also get go on to the city's website or Recreation Services Facebook page, and that information is there. If you're a service organization or a nonprofit that would like to participate, go ahead and contact our office, 772-6278, and we'll be happy to get you set up. Thank you so much.
And that leaves us with time for some of you who have asked for announcements. Lindsay, you might, do we have a new member in the house today that you'd like to recognize? I don't see a new member at this point. So, but we would like to have new board members. And so we have open seats and applications. And what are the deadlines on that, Lindsay, for? Soon. We're looking for it soon. So just let us know if you're interested at all in serving on the board. We'd love to be able to seed our board with new positions and be glad any one of the board members would be able to talk to you what the duties are and it's fun. It's a good working board. So I know Jane wanted to make an announcement. Kendall wants to make an announcement. We do have a few minutes to do that. Do you want her up here
Do that.
for Zoom?
So you folks might remember that in April, Morro Bay and Bloom sponsored a one-day I Love Morro Bay in which 156 people came out and spent 2 hours beautifying Morro Bay. As part of that included the creation of galvanized bucket planters that were individually painted by children and adults and elders in the community to serve as planters to sit underneath the trees downtown, because nothing will grow in those in those tree wells. They've tried lots of different things over the years. And so now they're going to be, submerging those buckets a little bit into the tree wells. And so Saturday at 2:00, there will be an ice cream social at City Park, which is that triangle park across from Achievement House. And the people who did buckets and all of the community, if they're interested, are welcome to come, and you will be given a map for where to find the buckets, and then the artists will be allowed to plant their buckets if they wish. And there are also painted rocks that many folks did, and they'll have a chance to put those around Morro Bay, either in the buckets or in the new Peace Garden near Dorns. And if you haven't seen that Peace Garden, by all means, go look at it. Morro Bay and Bloom is very proud of it. So thanks very much. See you Saturday.
Kendall?
Kendall Welch with the Morro Bay Maritime Museum. We have our 3rd annual fundraiser, Rock the Waterfront, coming up October 10th at the Morro Bay Yacht Club. Tickets are available online or in our store. And then the Saturday following, October 12th, we have a free event at the museum, very oriented toward kids and families. And lots of activities for kids to participate in, and Ray's singers are there and all kinds of fun stuff. So look on our website. Both of these are up there. And buy tickets.
I'll add to that, the Visit Morro Bay has been asking us to expand these 2 events into a full weekend. And we're going to be adding some things starting. There's going to be a chamber mixer that's going to be happening at Sharice's new facility hotel, and it's beautiful. If you haven't seen it, come out. This would be on October 9th. And then there's going to be another party at Tidelands Park. We have September, but music is coming back in October on the 10th in Tidelands, a free concert. 11th, excuse me. Yeah, so Rock the Harborfront is on the 10th, and then Friday is the concert at Tidelands Park with the Zongo All-Stars. It's a kickoff to a Zongo Cup that they've been doing for years that has moved into the October time. And then, of course, the fun day. And then stay tuned for more information about what's going to happen on Saturday evening, including, we know there's going to be a movie of the original Treasure Island is going to be a pirate movie. Yes. And Open Studio Tours is going on at the same time. There's so many wonderful things happening during that time frame, which was the whole point. Is people are doing things anyway. Let's celebrate it all. So, any other announcements? Okay. Then the next event is going to be a breakfast. The breakfast is, let me get my notes. I know it's going to be a affiliated with the Governmental Affairs Committee, and the title is Policy Pulse, navigating the latest in governmental affairs. There's also the Shop, Sip, and Stroll. Tickets are on sale now. They're 2 for $40, September 1st on the Embarcadero, and that's when the tickets are on sale until they're $40 until September 1st. Thank you. And then the actual happening is going to be on the Embarcadero on the 8th and on the 22nd, November 22nd for the downtown area. And the next mixer will be at the Fraternal Order of the Eagles. Charisse, last comment, our president of the board. Okay, I think I got you out on time. You are dismissed.